Hi guys. So this is going to be my review of A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. And this is also going to be just a discussion about how I feel about this author in general after reading three of her books. So I have decided to go through the whole ACOTAR series and then read Crescent City. Um I don't know if I'm going to have to read her YA books, if that's going to be necessary. So far, with what I know about the story of Crescent City, because I've watched spoiler videos, guys, I don't read these books. Like, I read them for the plot, but being spoiled for the plot doesn't bug me, if that makes any sense. So based off of that, it would probably make more sense for me to finish ACOTAR. I have the novella, and I have a court a court of silver flames are the only books I have left. So based off of kind of what my TBR is, based off of my 25 books of 2025, I didn't put any Sarah J. Maas on there. So if I get to the point where Sarah J. Maas fits somewhere, I will pick up probably. I don't want to pick up the novella because that's too Christmassy. I think I'm going to read that probably next Christmas or next Christmas season. Um, so based off of what I know about that book. So what I'm probably going to do is if a Court of Silver Flames fits in with, I do Magical Readathon every year. I think that's it. And then I do the bingo board for fantasy, and I didn't really get, there was stuff that I couldn't even fill out this year, so I'm hoping to do better next year with that. I'll be posting that on my Instagram, which is Books and Diamonds. Um, so I'll link that once I get that posted. But otherwise, how did I feel? Um, I feel like Sarah J. Maas falls in line with what we've been having, kind of some of my issues with publishing. I know other YouTubers' issues with publishing, which is just editing is just not happening. I can tell this is line edited. Like, I can tell, like, they're doing the spelling and they're doing the grammar. Like, they're doing that much. And thank you. Whoever, because that would even be harder. That would probably even make this book longer. But this book did not need to be 699 pages. Like, I know in some ways if we wanted to keep everything, that would make this like probably a 10-book series. But we didn't have to have everything in here at the same time. Like, I feel like a couple of her flight lessons could have been cut out. Some of the smut stuff could have been trimmed down. I'm trying to think what else. I think that's about it. Like, I do enjoy these characters. Like, I love Freya and Rhysand so much and their relationship. Like, I think it's so good for what Farah goes through in the first two books. Having to deal with Tamlin being whatever Tamlin decides to be. I'm trying to keep this as spoiler free as possible, but I might have some spoilers, so just be aware. Um, I think another issue I have with this and how she does, I don't know if she does a lot of love triangles because that's what this really is you as a reader are like, Farah needs to be with Rhysand. Like, right off the bat, you meet Tamlin, he's no good. You have to be with Rhysand. I love Rhysand's friends. Do they say on the back? No, they don't. But his friends are good. Like, I think they're called like the Bat Boys or something like that. I can't remember what their name is, but they're like a good time. Moore is really a really interesting character. Like the Night Court has been really interesting. Um, so I have to give Sarah J. Maas that. Her characters are really well done. Her settings are really well done. It's just I think she has some issues with the pacing where if they had more time to edit her books would not be this long. Her books would probably be okay at 400 pages, which is a typical fantasy. Um so that's how I feel about that. I love how she deals with trauma. You I feel like we're getting the end of Freya's trauma with Tamlin, minus towards the end of the book where we have to face that because she has to face Tamlin again. Um, but you're now getting it with her two sisters. And the addition of her sisters is I know what Sarah J. Maas is doing because I think she probably planned this to be probably each sister gets like 3 or 4 books or something like that to have their love story. I get it. I didn't particularly like her sisters. I could have dealt with like Moore or somebody else. I could have gotten more of Freya. Um, like Nesta. Like I felt for Nesta. Like that was the thing. Like I felt for Nesta. I can't remember what her younger sister's name is. Um, Illyrian, Cure, I don't remember. Oh, Cassian's one of the boys. One of the bat people. Um, yeah, but I don't know. I don't. Sorry, guys. There's like something itchy on the back of my head. But I don't know. Like they were fine. Like, and I think that's something that Freya also had to deal with. Like, how to get over is her sisters and everything. Like, her sisters put her through. Her father put her through. Which we got in like the first book, which kind of made Tamlin look like a hero, and now he's not. Like Rhysand's looking like the hero, but either way, it's just I didn't like if they did not get added to the story, I would not have been sad about it. I just I think with the cauldron stuff, especially towards like the middle to end of the book, um, that's why they were there. But otherwise, I don't feel like they were necessary additions to the cast. Now, when it comes to just Sarah J. Maas in general, I don't have anything wrong with her books. Um, I've enjoyed. I'm on my third one. Like I kind of said, I think I said it in my short, but I'm if I can fit these books into my TBR next year, I will finish this series because I know the sixth one is coming out. But you also have to, everybody's like, you have to read Crescent City to even be able to understand the sixth book. Well, I've watched spoiler videos. I know what happens in Crescent City. So I don't know. And I like these characters, but I think I will like the Crescent City characters. I've just heard really bad things about the third book. So I don't know if I want to get into a trilogy where I know the third book's going to be probably pretty bad. I know the second book's not like everybody's favorite. Um Even Becca in the books where like Crescent City is her favorite series, she's like did not like that last book. So I'm a little scared if she didn't like it, how I'm going to feel. I like urban fantasy a little bit more than because I grew up with it and stuff than I think Becca does. I think but she really liked the first book. So we will see um kind of where I'm at. When it comes to end of the year TBR, this will probably be in January, so take this with a grain of salt. Like I have I have A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, which I'm reading right now, and I have Malice that I'm supposed to read, but I've already decided that's a book of 2025. So my goal is just to finish a Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, which I'm almost halfway through. So I potentially can maybe still get the novella in my TBR for this year, for 2024, and then I would only have a Court of Silver Flame, um, and then I would be done with this series, and then I'd go on to Crescent City, and then it would be how do I fit Crescent City in my TBRs. Um, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about she's definitely a popcorn read for me. Like I do she does have like good discussions about trauma. She does war very well. Her fight scenes like keep me interested and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, she really is just a popcorn read for me. She's just a higher end popcorn read, which is not a bad thing. Like I'm not like I'm rating this book 4 stars. Like I really did enjoy my time with it and everything, but if they start going down the hill, I'll probably stop reading them. Is probably where I'm at with these. And I don't really want to read her YA series if I can possibly help it. Um if I will watch like a full video of somebody summarizing those books and I will be okay. Like I know a lot of people are like, it's gonna be probably part the creatures in that are probably gonna be part of um the Crescent City series or the next Akatar. But as far as what I know about right now, they're like minimal. So I'm hoping like her adult is just gonna cross with her adult, and then if she writes another series, um, like you only need to read the Akatar and like the Crescent City books. Sorry guys. Um is what I'm thinking. Is kind of my feelings about it. She is a very good writer. Like she's simplistic. She kind of reminds me of Brandon Sanderson a little bit with how like simplistic and how easy it is to get into their books. Um so it's a lot like it's easy for me to pick this up rather than like trying to pick up a heavy fantasy book that it looks like after kind of doing my books of 2025 I'm going to have a lot of. Um so that's there always. I do feel that's the same way with this series as well, which is Jennifer L. Armentrout, but to compare the two a little bit, Jennifer writes darker. Like her topics that she writes about are a lot darker than Akatar, which I mean still deals with drama and trauma and everything, but I think by the time we're in the last book, it's really gonna end with happily ever after. Cause I think with the fact that it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, um, like I think after everything's said and done, I think that's gonna be how it ends. I think there's gonna be some tragedy in the middle, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be happily ever after. Where with this, like he's a brat, like, um, and stuff like that. Which Resand is too, but he's a little bit lighter. He's a little bit. There's a little bit more humor in Akatar than in this. Um, it's still Smut City, like, and that's kind of the thing that kind of like I was like not rushing to get into romantasy, which is what these two books are, is the smut. Now, after reading a lot more romantasy, I'm finding that, or fantasy romance, I don't know what the difference is. Um, I'm finding that it's a very big emphasis on their relationship, and it's a little like there's still smut in there, but you're having hopefully well written characters in these scenes that work well together. And that's kind of where like it needs to be. Like even if you have an enemies to lovers situation where they don't like each other but they're still having sexy time, like that could still be hot. Like that could still be really good. So, and that was my worst worry going into this because it's not my thing. But Rhysand and Farah are a really good couple, and I think they're good like in the bedroom and out of the bedroom, which is very important to me reading one of these because um yeah, it's not really my thing, and I was really worried about how much smut was going to be present. So far, like this has been the heaviest smutty book that I think I've read out of the three. Um Now that is like kind of the reason why I'm kind of scared of the novella, because everybody says it's like steamy time Christmas, and I'm like it's really short, so it might not be as bad. The other thing I was getting kind of frustrated with is like the whole mate thing. Like she kept like my mate, my mate, my mate, and like I'm like I get it, but it was driving me crazy. And that might just be a fantasy romance thing. The only other one I've really digged my feet into, I read some Katie Roberts Wicked Villains, and then I read Neon Gods in the second one, which I think is Electric Idol. And then what was A Fate Inked in Blood. So Fate Inked in Blood to me was very, very light on the romance portion, mostly political. And then Katie Roberts was just um smutty, smutty, smutty. So, but I liked how she wrote her characters. So for somebody that's just trying to get into fantasy romance, I think I'm starting good. Like I haven't hated anything yet. I don't think I'm a dark romance girly. I've tried some of those and haven't really liked them. I know this has turned into a conversation about like just fantasy romance in general, but it was like a lot of the stuff that I think I'm complaining about is stuff that like might not be a big deal to a lot of people that read this genre. I'm just like a lot of things were like it was sometimes a little too much with Freya and Rhysand with the like bedroom talk to me sometimes. Like they would be in a library that to me was a pretty dark scene because Rhysand's like explaining what all these women went through and stuff like that, and then he's like, "Oh, I would do it to you on the table." Like I'm like, okay, like I get it, but like it's just it didn't always fit with what was going on, um, and the mood wasn't always fitting. Sorry, guys. Um, but that might just be how Sarah J. Maas writes. You know, her placement with things is probably not like always the greatest, but again, like what I said, is it's a popcorn read. Like I go in, I'm here for a good time, I'm out in a good time, and then that's that. Well, that's all I have to say. Again, it was a four star. I'll see you in another video. It's probably going to be another how I feel about Illumicrate because this is going to go with Fragile Threads of Power, Some Desperate Glory, and this one is going to be my next Illumicrate video. Book of the month, I think I'm going to do like probably a very big bulk review of just I have I think 3 books on my TBR right now, and then I have those other 3 I picked out. So it might be a 6 book review just to get them out. And or it might be a 3 and 3. I haven't made my mind up yet, but I'm not afraid of DNFing. Like if I just don't like the rest of these, and then I'll figure out something to do to replace that. But yeah, I'm just book of the month. How I feel about book of the month is going to be done by this year, hopefully by the beginning, so we can get another series going on the channel. But otherwise, you guys have a lovely day, and I will see you in a video coming real soon. Bye.